Einen wichtigen Punkt möchte ich euch in diesem Video noch zeigen, nämlich Camera Animation. Dazu gibt es zwei praktische Ansätze, natürlich den normalen mit Keyframes und dass man die Kamera von Punkt zu Punkt animiert, und das zweite, den Motion Part. Den zeige ich euch gleich, aber ich fange mit einer einfachen, also plötzlich muss ich Englisch reden. In this video, I want to show you how to do camera animations in two different types. On the one hand, I will just show you a simple keyframe animation, and the second version is a motion path. But we start, of course, with the easier one, and for that, I will create a new camera, and you can do that. I have here a scene from Alina, a student of mine. Thanks to her for the room she provided me for showing you the camera animation stuff. You go to panels, and there you have you can switch here the cameras, or you can create a new one. Under panels perspective new, I create a new camera. Now you have here perspective 1, and you can switch here the cameras between perspective, and yeah, here you see your camera 1 is somewhere here. And what you can do is when you select the camera and go here to look through selected, then I look back in, I am in the camera 1. You can change here, for example, the view angle might be nice when you do some room stuff, because you get more here on your screen. Then maybe it's helpful to, when you have your render settings on, okay, I have a small HD, that's fine, that you activate here in camera settings the resolution gate. Then you see here where is actually, what do I see through my camera when I would render it. So this could also help you. And yeah, a basic animation is, I just set here my angle quite high. I have in my door, so I just go here inside, so my first camera position, then now somewhere here, and then be sure that you have your camera selected. Okay, when you have your channel box here, just put it somewhere here. So when you want to make sure that your camera is selected, that you can key it, then go to View, Select Camera, okay, or select it here, that you have here in the channel box also perspective 1. And I'm missing my timeline, so UI elements, time slider, and also my range slider. And be sure that your animation is set to 25 frames per second as usual. If you want to do a 10-second animation, for example, I have here my 250 frames, and yeah, my camera is still selected, then I press S on the keyboard, then my position is now keyed, and then I go to my next position. Don't know how you want to have it. Oh, maybe I should change here my position on the timeline, of course. Press S again, change again the position when you want to look here. Press S again, go further, then turn maybe around a little bit. Press S again, go further. I'm gonna press S again because I'm just, then go here, next step, S, maybe some turning around here in the room. Or if you want to do some close-up of something, whatever. then also show it in that way. Press S again and now see what's happening. Okay. Now you see that the animation is quite struggling, because I have here, of course, it's trying to do the 20 frames per second, but when the scene is quite complex, Maya won't be able to do it. So if you want to see it step by step, then play every frame. Of course, be careful that the timing isn't correct in this moment. If you want to check the timing and how your camera is moving, then you may create a play blast. Switch here to from render settings, and I set my scale to 1 because I want to full here 960 to 540, and I save my file to camera animation, and of course put it anywhere you want to have it. Here it is saved in my scene. Then I play blast, and this will now take a little while. And now we have our animation here. Well, this was the first attempt. You see the timing was just guessing, and sometimes this is quite okay. I have a little time to watch, but actually, yeah, this was way too fast, because may I have a longer look at this area of the scene. Then check-in in the bathroom, also quite fast, and yeah, way too fast. So actually I would need 30 seconds of animation to go to the whole room, and it depends, of course, on your scene, how long it should take, how long do you stay at different scenes, if you go some close-ups. And if you want to change your timing, remember you have two possibilities. For example, the graph editor, where you can adjust the speed of several actions, and if you want to slide in the animation longer or faster, then adjust the tensions a little bit, yeah. Or even better, for timing issues, especially in the beginning when you start doing animations, maybe the graph editor is a little bit too much for trying with linear or curved tensions. Maybe it's better to, oops, where it is, animation editor, dope sheet, where you take your frames, and when you go in the move mode, okay, the move tool must be activated, then you can move your keyframes so that scenes last longer, or put in more keyframes when you want to stay in a position. Just play around a little bit for you. The second way of doing some camera animation is using a motion path, and for that, for example, when I want to go here through the room, I just switch my view to the top view, and I check here some curves. Okay, so there is the beginning. Then I want to go somewhere here, here, maybe here. Go into the bathroom. I'm just playing around, okay? Just draw a curve. I switch back to my mode. Then I put it a little bit higher. Of course, you can adjust the curve with, when you right click it, with control vertex, and then you can get your camera moving up and down, or adjust the curve, of course. Then we need a camera again. Let's go to panels, perspective. I create a new one. Here I have my perspective 1. I'm actually looking through perspective 1, so I'm going here to my starting point, approximately, okay. Then I switch back to my perspective view. There I see my camera 1 somewhere, and it's already selected, and then with Shift select the curve, and then you have to switch here to the animation menu and go under Constrain Motion Path, Attach to Motion Path. And of course there are a lot of options. The time range here is the time slider. That means it would last 250 frames. And here the axis, yeah, it might be a little bit difficult, and we adjust later if the camera looks in a wrong direction. That is easier than later on to check how it looks like. When I say attach, then the camera is actually now jumped to the position where I was, and you see, go here through my time slider, it's sliding along the curve, but you see it's looking maybe in a direction that I don't want it to look. And now I have to adjust here the motion path. So when you have the camera selected, then open up the attributes, and there should be a thing called a tab called motion path, and then we check if we have to adjust here maybe the axis where is front of the camera. So now it's looking in the complete direction. So I say inverse front. It depends on where your camera is positioned, and so you just try which combination of inversing or front or up axis. Up axis normally Y, this is okay, but if the front is X or Z or inverse it, just use it. And the bank is a quite nice feature. You may need, what does this do? Bank is that the camera is laying into a curve. When it does a curve and I switch here, you see it, when I switch bank on, it's moving in this direction. Es legt sich in die Kurve. I don't know what's the English equivalent would be. So then, of course, you can, this is the value which is keyed, where in the timing the camera should be positioned. And you could also should also key it if you want, but this is also a little bit of overkill maybe at the current time. Okay, you can adjust it here if you want and then key it. Then I will have a look through my camera. I can say here look through camera or go into perspective 1, and then I will see how my animation would look like. So this is a rough, of course, you now saw the bank mode, and maybe I change also my angle of view so that I see a little bit more. You see I have a sharp bank now, I'm not sure if this would be a good animation at this point. So, well, I just wanted to move it up a little bit. It was too much. Then I do a second play blast again and see what's the result. So go to play blast. Say camera animation motion path, and now let it work. So the result. Well, yeah, the banking might be a little bit too much, but the advantage of such a motion path is that you have a fluid movement, more or less. Of course, this animation needs also a lot of rework, so this was the first attempt as well. You see that it is way too fast, and yeah, the banking is so hard, and yeah, but I guess you got the idea how to manage some kind of camera animations. Yeah, that's it, more or less, about camera animation. I hope this helped you a little bit, and otherwise, yeah, as you know, I'm here for you for your personal help.